Good morning, guys. My name's Doug. Welcome to my garage. This morning we're going to be working on the Project GTI 130 Sea Doo. This machine has spent much of its life tied up to a dock and obviously rubbing on some rocks at some point. And a few little details need to be cleaned up here at the back. As you can see, the fiberglass has worn away all the way through the outer hull into the foam core. So I need to rebuild the trailing edge of that fiberglass and clean up the gel coat a little bit. Also, you can see the speedometer has suffered a little bit and some of the fins are missing off of that. Now, these speedometers are notoriously inaccurate anyways, so we're probably not going to get too carried away, but I will see if I can find the part number and order in a new wheel for that. We have some gel coat repair here, fiberglass and gel coat repair, and some more gel coat repair over here. So follow along. I haven't really done a whole lot of work like this, so this is going to be a learning experience for me, and hopefully you guys pick up a few hints and tricks along the way. Okay, so I'm hoping we don't have to strip the boarding ladder off to get at this, but it looks to me like we're going to have to pull that drain plug. That'll do. Likely a good idea to pull that anyways. So you can see we've got the drain coming off of the bilge. There's scuppers in the bottom of the hull, I believe, and then just drain at the back. Okay, next step is to wipe off a bunch of the scum that's in the area. We want to degrease it. The can says acetone, but it's actually recycled thinners. You can buy at most paint supply places. They call it gun wash. Now then, we need to feather the gel coat back a little bit, getting onto good glass, both on the bottom and on the back, and around the sides. Given that fiberglass dust is quite bad for your lungs, best to wear some kind of respirator, or at the very least a well-fitting dust mask when working on this stuff. I don't know how well this is going to work because it's pretty toasty warm out here this morning. Also, goggles and gloves. Try the diagram first to see what that is. Well, that cleaned up not too bad. So this part here doesn't look too badly worn. It's mostly just the radius. And as we come out and go up, we're going to need several layers of glass here that will reshape to the radius. compressed air and blow that fuzz out of there. And start making some patches. Unfortunately, I have marine epoxy, but because this is gel coat, you can't use epoxy. Epoxy will stick to polyester-based fiberglass with no problem, but polyester-based fiberglass will not stick to epoxy. And gel coat is pretty much exclusively a polyester-based product. I have a gel coat repair kit that I'm going to try to color match the color of the hull. So let me get some polyester resin and some mixing materials and cut a few pieces of fiberglass to start laying in there. We use 1708. You probably could get away with just using standard automotive grade mat, but I have lots of 1708 from another marine repair that I was working on prior to doing YouTube videos. So we'll use the right stuff. I'll bring you back in a couple minutes when I get some materials and we can start laying a couple layers in here to start the repair. So here we have some pieces of 1708. 1708 is kind of a neat fiberglass. It's got the high build and high strength of a strictly chop strand woven sheet mixed with the stability of a straight woven mat. It's used quite often for repairs in marine situations, such as this. The fiberglass resin that I'm using is just Bondo brand fiberglass resin from a hardware store, nothing terribly fancy. And pour a little bit in a mixing cup, a few drops of, this is NEK, which is a hardener, and it doesn't take long for this stuff to set up. Also, we probably don't want to have a bunch of stuff laying underneath. So it's probably going to drip. Now, mix it up with the brush. And this stuff is very, very stinky. If you're in an enclosed area, for sure you want to be wearing a respirator mask. Working outside like I am hardly even smelling anything. So the trick here is we want to build up a fair amount on this, coming over to about there. If we end up with a little bit hanging off the edge, it's not a big deal, because we will be sanding this down. Okay, now we take a little bit longer piece. This is a free roller. Use this to work that. Okay, there we go. That's a good first couple of coats on there. We'll let that all set up and come back and put another layer on to build the radius back up again. But so far it's looking pretty good. I'll bring you back when I'm ready to do some sanding. Well, here we are a couple hours later. This is the cup we were using. The brush is very firmly glued into the bottom of the cup, and the fiberglass on the back of the Sea Doo appears to be nice and solid. I've pulled the speed sensor out. I did order a new wheel for it, but of course that won't be in for a little while. Slowed down especially because of the biological situation. So let's clean up in behind where the speed sensor was, and then we'll take the die grinder and clean up some of the extra resin that ended up on there. And unfortunately, that's a little difficult. I'm going to grab a fresh pair of gloves, put on the mask, etc., and we'll clean that up. Well, I'm quite happy with that, actually. A little bit more build-up on there, and this will be perfect. Okay, so we got a fresh cup, fresh parts brush. Dust off of the lens. Now, I've mixed up probably quite a bit more than I really need, but the brush seems to soak up a lot. So, 6 drops of hardener. Give it a good mix. Give it one more quick wipe down before we throw some fresh glass on. Okay, one more piece here. Everything out from underneath so it doesn't drip on. Glued up. It's built up a little bit on the high side, but that allows me to sand back down so that I get the right shape, but still maintain a good thick covering on there. Once I get it sanded down to shape, we'll put some polyester glaze putty on there to smooth it out, act like a fairing compound, and then we'll try doing some color match gel coat. That should be interesting. Bring it back when this has a chance to set up. So the second layer of fiberglass doesn't seem to be setting up quite as quickly. I think it's set up enough we can do a little bit of shaping with it. We put on the heavy shirt and we'll do a little grinding. Okay, we're almost good. A little bit of roughness at the bottom here that needs to get cleaned up still. Blended into the bottom gel coat a little better. To be quite honest, I think I'm just going to use gel coat as a fairing compound. That's, I'm quite happy with how that's taken shape. I think I will stop the repair here and continue on at a later time with the gel coat. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see what it looks like. And I'll continue this on in a part 2. Thanks for checking it out.